So, today is October the 28th, and on this day in 1977, the Sex Pistols album, Never Mind the Bollocks, Here's the Sex Pistols, was released. Several years later, I went out to buy it. I got a picture disc, but you know, I wasn't really a punk rock kind of guy, although I liked a lot of the music. I love this album. I got this, it turns out, from, Selfridges on sale. Yeah, right. It's all very good. I'm not actually listening to that album at the moment. You can tell the picture disc is still in there. Instead, what I'm listening to is a version of God Save the Queen, sung by Nouvelle Vague, which I also really like, but a bossa nova version of punk rock, okay, maybe that's about right. Anyway, I wanted to come up with a cocktail that would mark that auspicious day for music. And really, there's only one, and that is one I discovered called the Loaded Pistol. And there's an extra reason, well, there's a couple of reasons why I really wanted to try it and to learn to make it and then to make a video about it. It's got an interesting ingredient in it, or a couple actually, but the liquor that's interesting is liquore Strega, which is an Italian liquor, a liqueur, better said, which is kind of interesting. Looks very much like Galliano, but it's much more sort of it's stronger tasting, even though it's a similar strength. And it really adds a degree of complexity and interestingness to the cocktail we're going to make. But there's also another very interesting ingredient, which I'm going to start out by using on the glass. It turns out that you put a rim around the glass that is a salt, a grasshopper salt. So I bought myself some dehydrated, lightly seasoned grasshoppers, and I blended those together with some salt in order to make the salt for this cocktail. It sounds pretty rock and roll to me, so let's give it a try. So we're going to start off. I've got my not quite freshly squeezed grapefruit juice, which I'm going to pour into a saucer so that I can dip the rim of the glass into it, to then add, and here's what I made. I don't know if you can see this, blended grasshoppers and salt, and I'm going to just put that into a nice all bits of grasshopper. It's sort of a nice pink colour, but I don't think that's grasshopper blood. I think that's just grasshopper, right? Now maybe that's all the same thing. So the glass, you do that before you put ice in it, of course. So dip that into the grapefruit, and then you put the salt on the rim, like so. And then we're going to put some ice in there, ready for when the drink's made. There we go, I'll put a few of those in there like so. And then the drink itself is a mezcal drink, and the mezcal is, first of all, 1.5 ounces going into our stirring glass that's already conveniently filled with ice. 1.5 ounces of that, as I said. Then 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth, the red one. Then the third ingredient, which I already mentioned, the liquore Strega, the Italian liqueur, and it just calls for 1/2 ounce of that. And that goes in like so. And then the bitters it calls for is a grapefruit bitters. Now, if you can't get them, you could probably use something like peach bitters or something like, oh, that's enough. 4 drops of grapefruit bitters or some equivalent if you like. And then we're going to stir this all together. I mean, it's a shame it's not a pink drink, and somebody would go with my t-shirt with the cover of the album and things like that. But this is a very nice sort of burnt yellow colour, so I think that works quite well. And we are going to strain that into our old-fashioned glass filled with ice. Like so. I probably didn't put quite enough ice in it, so I'll put another couple of cubes in as well. No other garnish apart from the grasshopper salt. Let's see what we've got. Yes, that rocks.